Oh, can you?
Well,
Okay, I can hear you now. Perfect. So how's it going? It's long time no see.
yeah, so oof, it's been going pretty good overall. I moved from up to northern Colorado down to more Denver.
Mm-hmm.
I'm living with a roommate now. I got a different job. The first month was a little rough because money stuff, but now it's been fine. I kind of stopped playing Melee during that time mostly. Mainly just watched. Like I caught up with it was a tournament that happened recently. Uh, I can't remember the name of it, but I watched some of that one.
Oh,
The Egg Dog Invitational.
yeah, the Ag Dog. Yeah. Yeah, I think that Cody won that one, and it was like him and Amsa. Amsa like had a really good run, and then yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
Yeah. And then there was everyone's been doing the unranked 100 wins challenges, and it's been insane.
Mm-hmm.
um, yeah, that's mainly what I've been doing, and I've been to like a few tournaments here and there. I try not to be too hard on myself because like I haven't really been practicing much. I got like fifth at one of them, and then recently I got second at a boulder for like no reason. But
What happened there? Like, what happened there? Like, what was the? Do you have the turn? Like, who did you play? Who? How many people went?
it was around 30 people, and I don't know. It was such a weird tournament because in winners I ended up losing to Coffee, the DK,
Okay.
like 12-year-old prodigy, and it was like game five, like last interaction, and I remember I had grabbed him and he mashed out. And in that split little second, I didn't like register that he mashed out, and I was just kind of staring at the screen. And then I got grabbed upper DK punched. And I'm like, oh.
I think
so
that
that
Donkey Kong's like a weird. I think that Donkey Kong's actually unique on that one. I think that he actually, if he mashes himself, I think that for some reason, I think him and Bowser have like unique mechanics in that like, I think Bowser's +10 or something when you mash out of his. No, when someone mashes out of his, and I feel like if Donkey Kong mashes out of yours, he's like +10, like he's plus or something. Or maybe I have that backwards, but I think there's something weird with him.
Yeah, I know. Like Bowser has a thing where he could grab and bite you, and then like pseudo re-grab, and it's like very goofy.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
Um,
yeah,
but
but Donkey
I beat
Kong.
him. Yeah, so I lost to Coffee, but then I went on this crazy run where I beat Loam, who is someone who I had struggled with for a while. I beat him like beforehand, but this time it was like a 3-1, where it just felt like I like knew what to do versus him now. And I think it's just because of how much Falco I was playing before, and I guess like the break cleared my mind more.
Mm-hmm.
Then I beat Randy, who I haven't had trouble with a while. We've been playing lots of friendlies. And then I beat Russell. And that I think that's the first time I'd ever beaten Russell, too. Which is crazy. Um who was he before? Before he was in Colorado, Russell was in what was Ginger's region?
Michigan.
Yeah, Russell was from Michigan. I think Russell was on the Michigan PR. If not, he was like right under it for like years. So he was like crazy good at Falco Fox. Like the first time I played him, I got like four stocked or like double four stocked in tourney. It was like insane. So to go from that to like 3-1ing him was like insane. And then I beat Coffee in the run back, and then by that point I was so like drained mentally that I had to go up against Daydream, who's Jigglypuff, and I couldn't do anything. I think Daydream had like the craziest tournament. I don't think he dropped a single game to anyone. So I just got 3-0 in grands. But yeah, that tournament was very, very interesting.
Yeah, it sounds like. So you fought. It sounds like you fought like a bunch of good people, people you hadn't beaten before, like people you hadn't really like beaten like that before, and also like yeah, it sounds like it was like a very wild ride. What was going like? How it's were you locked? Like it sounds like you were locked in for a lot of it. Um, like what was the
It
experience like playing those games? I guess.
so when I lost the Coffee, it felt almost expected because I kind of like thought about like my mental state during it, and it was the very classic like mental traps of like thinking ahead in bracket. You know, I'd be in coffee before. This should be fine. And like just having those like weird like nerves and just like not being like super into the game. And like when I was playing, I was like focusing on like background noises. Like it felt almost expected, like despite how close the games were and how good I was like playing everywhere else in the tournament. So I think I just like once I reached coffee, which was like game 3 or 4 or like set 3 or 4 or whatever for me, then I kind of just fell into the like old traps that I had been going in against, but I like recognized it. And from that point, I just kind of like sat with myself and I'm just like, okay, I just lost to DK and all that. I feel like I kind of like needed to wake up a bit. And I told myself, like, I at least want to play some of the people who are here in the tournament because there's lots of other like really good people here. So I at least want to make it to like Russell to play him just to see what happens. And I just want to focus on like melee itself. I was still like kind of disappointed in myself for losing, so I was like kind of like stewing over that a bit. But it felt very like when I played, it was all just like in game. Now, like it wasn't like before where I was like kind of jittery or like thinking of something else. Before, it just felt like I was detached and it was just like me in game. It was just like Falco and the other person's character. And I think that's why I did so well because I felt like I was noticing so much more.
For sure, for sure. Where would you say that Russell would be? Like, if Russell was ranked right now, like, would he be considered ranked in your region, or like no, or no,
Um, let me
or?
let me find one of the past PRs.
Mhm.
Russell was number 2 next to Fizz
Oh my
on
lord.
yeah, H1 2023. Russell was insane. So
Huh. That's awesome. So it's like I feel like that's a really good. So basically, it sounds like you kind of approached it as let's make the most of it. You know, what I really want to do is I want to play. Um,
yeah,
that's
that's
amazing.
definitely yeah, that's definitely what aided into it. And I kind of went into the tournament with a like this is gonna sound really funny, but like I had a I got my job and I've been working, so I've had less time to play melee, but it kind of added to this thing in my mind where it's like now when I play melee, it's like now my head's in melee mode, if that makes sense. Like I want to play melee, like even more than I did before. So like when I got off of work and then immediately went over to the tournament, like it felt like I was just like ready to have fun rather than just compete. Like remember we talked about that balance beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
It felt like weirdly easier to reach that balance.
You
At
know,
least like in like a weird like I don't know. Like I felt exhausted after work, but like I felt like I went there to like relax, to have fun and all that.
what you're describing is very similar to what I've gone over with Meds before. Because he's like, you know, he's a father, he's got a job, he's got a wife, he's got family, he's got friends, like, he's got a lot of things going on in his life, but at the same time, you know, with a little bit of with some effort and organization, he's found a way to like carve time for melee, and kind of like understand how he can like manage that time. So when he does do it, it's generally like more fulfilling, it's more rewarding, he's more engaged. And I think that what you're describing is very similar to that. Like we kind of there are advantages in my mind of having you know a more a well-rounded life that has like other things where melee isn't just like the only thing you're doing. I
Yeah.
think that a lot of times we tend to, especially older players like me, I think that sometimes we have a tendency to talk about those things as if they're just like as if they're like strictly a bad thing. But the reality is that like it takes a ton of pressure off when you're not like counting on the tournament for a paycheck, you know. Um,
Yeah.
so that's huge. So with that in mind, it's great having you back. What are your thoughts on what we could do today? Like, how do you foresee this time being productive?
So I guess I want to go over me versus Daydream or DD. I have to get like an older VOD. I think I played way better in this VOD anyways, but I need to find it first. I
Sure.
forgot to do that yesterday.
Okay.
But
So where maybe I can help. Do you know where are the
it's
tournaments like stored?
unlisted, but I know how to find it really fast.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Smitty Willikers. There he is. Let's see. Let's see. I think it was this Melee Monday. But yeah, I will say the one thing that I know for a fact has degraded, besides like my mental, has been my tech skill. My tech skill is not as good as it was before. Like I'll like think of doing something, like I'll like try and wave dash up tilt, and then I go flying upwards and do an up air. And I'm like, oh okay. But
Okay.
besides little things like that, where I know it's because I haven't had as much time. Um, I I feel like I've just been seeing the game better, which I think is a lot more beneficial. Okay, I found it. They forgot to label us. I am Casey, apparently.
Okay. So
Okay.
one question I'd have the one thought I'd actually I'd want us to think about is, if this is the case, if it's the case that like you're finding that certain parts of your tech skill are like more affected by this than others, what might make sense is to try to like keep track of those, and see if there's a way that we can like be targeted about that. What's the timestamp, by the way?
44-48.
44:48. Okay.
Yeah,
This was.
so this is a game 5. He beats me 3-1, but I think every game goes to last stock. And I think at some point I get like pretty frustrated.
Puff Falco, I can see why that might be frustrating. How do you find this matchup in general?
So some puffs I just absolutely destroy and have no issues with. And then other puffs, it feels like I can't do anything.
Okay.
And it really just like depends on who the puff is, I guess. I don't know. Like DSJ and like some other good puffs, it feels like I could just like implement what I have like always really done. Like I think of like PPMD and like other like Falcos that I would watch, and it would just work out. Like it felt almost like a rinse repeat. They can't really get in or do much. And then like other puffs like Daydream, like I don't know if it's the way they move around or like the spaces they occupy, but it feels almost like constricting. Like they're moving around in a way around me where it feels like okay, I'm scared to full hop up. I'm scared to like move a certain way. So I try and like maybe try and laser, just like hold shield. And all of a sudden they're just like around me. And with DD, it's like it feels like it mainly just depends on how hard I hit him, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
And so
but that's not really a good strategy versus Puff, and we know that because she's not really a character you beat by comboing. So
yeah, so that's another thing is that like I feel like I can't play the melee I want to when I play versus Puff, compared to like any other character.
okay.
So that's another thing that makes Puff recently, at least, really frustrating. Before, I never really found Puff frustrating. I mean, I used to main Puff when I first played the game, so I understand like a lot of the things they're doing. Like, and I know like some basic strategies, like use the laser to turn Puff around when she's back airing.
Yeah, you're also shooting them. I notice you're shooting them high over her when she's on the ground to like cut off her jump, or like to keep her kind of like pinned there. That's good.
Yeah, so like I said, like my basic strategy like could beat a lot of Puffs, but like versus like DD, I feel like I either overreach or he like gets around me somehow.
Okay, real quick. What way do we DI right now?
To top flat.
No. We missed the DI on the up throw. I mean, like, what do we? How do we DI the next hit?
You want like if so usually like I think like oh if I'm gonna get arrested here then I try and get like the star KO.
Yeah. Well, you
If I
mean
get back aired.
well, you avoid the star KO, right? Like you want to DI to not go off the top so that you can punish her
Oh
out.
yeah, yeah, DI to not go up top. So yeah, I try and DI like out to the left if I'm getting arrested, and then if they're gonna back air, then I think I DI like up and in maybe.
Well, you do
That's
that, and then like this happens.
oh yeah, I just get
Yes.
three-pieced.
Yeah, so there's a way you can beat both of those.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I had no idea.
Yeah, so what do you think it is? Think about it. So we want to make sure, like, it'll beat, there's a way to beat all three, no, to beat her resting on this side of you, and her back airing you that way. It's just a DI input. What do you think it is?
Maybe DI away?
So, like,
Just
here?
like, yeah, maybe just like more like full out away. Because then, like, in the back airs, then I'm going to be like too far away and I could like side B back on stage. But I don't know. I'm mainly
Close.
thinking about the back airs. Oh, down.
Yeah, because you'll get a bit,
Okay.
you'll get a bit of side, like, away DI from the down input on the bear, but you'll also ensure that you die off the side if she rests you on this side or this side. Right? Because
Okay.
she can mix up what side of Falco she, like, Jigglypuff rests on. So then, like, whether you're here, it doesn't matter. Down still kills you off the side.
Okay.
Yep. So that would just be like, so how would we know that, like, this... So here's a question. What are some things that we can use to know that, like, we want to do it, like, in this situation? Like, what are some conditions that make it so that we know to DI down here?
Definitely the percents.
Yep. Percent of
Um,
Falco.
um,
That's one.
I guess just like if I miss the like initial DI on the up throw and I'm just like in that weird spot to begin with.
Yeah, so you're in, like, so missed DI on up throw. So, no, didn't DI up throw.
Yeah.
Yep, so then there's
And
one more.
and I didn't like get on a platform.
Mm-hmm. Did not land on plat. I'd say that this platform being nearby, like the fact that there's a nearby plat that we didn't land on, is also a factor. Because by, like, having this here, we have the down might help us, like, if you smash DI down, for example, you might have increase your odds of, like, slipping off this. So nearby plat, but we didn't land on it.
Okay.
Plat that we didn't land on. And then yeah,
That makes sense.
Yeah, didn't land on plat. Because, yeah, like, this will also, like, these factors, and you don't need all of them. I want to be clear. Like, these are 4 things that make this good, but, like, we don't necessarily need all of them to be present for this to be a good play. It's just, like, we want some of them. Like, we want, like, some of the more important ones. But that's just kind of indicators we can use to know that that's what we're supposed to do. In terms of the neutral, I really like what you're doing here. Like, that, everything there looks good in terms of how you pinned her down, pinned the Jigglypuff and kind of, like, took control of the match. One thing I'm noticing is that, like, you're kind of playing really close to her diagonals. You see what I mean? Like, you're kind of going into this spacing a lot, where she has, like, a lot of things, a lot of mix-ups.
Yeah.
So, like,
I think that's why I feel so like constricted.
yeah, because, like, what can we realistically, like, when we're under her like this, what can we realistically do, especially with her shield, right?
Yeah.
So, like, let's think about where we want to be. Like, where would we feel better about being as Falco here? Like, if we were fighting Jigglypuff, if we're here on stage, let's say we'll be Falco's green. So we're here. This is our current position. Where could we go? Like, where would be a better spot we could be? That would make us feel, like, a lot better about, like, about where we are versus Jigglypuff at this height.
Maybe if I could like space my bear like about like that far away, so like maybe like 2 or 3 characters or like 3/4 of a platform or something.
Okay, so, like, so let's actually, like, that's a good observation. The platform's here. So do we want to be under the platform, or do we want to be in the open space? Like, which side?
I think I'd feel more comfortable under the platform.
Okay, so, like, here, right? Like, maybe here?
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. So, once we're here, let's say we're not shielding. What's like, why do we like this? We have the platform protecting us, so that's limiting her approach zones. I gotta figure that's part of it. But is there anything else going on that, like, makes this, like, feel good?
Well, I could also use the platform. I feel like I could high laser. I feel like I could like maybe use my fair or like turn around bear up tilt. Like if she's facing me like that.
Yes, because you can like shoot the high laser shoots about here, right?
Yeah.
And you've also got the beak height ones, which are around here. So like these both seem really good against this kind of approach angle. This one probably combos better. This one probably does a better job of guarding the space. We've got our back air as well, which is like worth considering, which hits about like here relative to us. Yeah, I like this a lot. Fair is good too. I'm not sure I like it at 0, but it's definitely a consideration. What do you think we should be trying? What do you think we're trying to do at 0, generally speaking, to her? Like, what's our goal here?
Well, if we're both at 0, I was always told to just like super lame it out with lasers by people. But like a lot of the times, I like try and get her to like, I think what's the percent, like 31 or like around like 20 to 31. So like down air knocks down and just like kind of keep her pinned to the ground. I'm also like just avoiding back airs and like random like pounds and grabs.
Okay. So this could be a goal. Rack to dare %.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like
that's kind of what I. That's kind of like always what I like think about too. But like I don't always like I try and get her to that %, and then it feels like I'm comfortable to do whatever. But I don't really look for dare that much sometimes. Like just because like the situation kind of changes.
So,
but
true.
Yeah.
So if we're getting racker to dare %, my question would be, what are the moves that like help us do that? Because like I get that laser is good, but we have to hit like 40. We have to hit like 25 lasers in order to get her to dare %, or like 20 lasers to get her to dare % on if we're just laser, and I feel like that's really inefficient. So I'm not saying that laser can't be part of our strategy, but like what else can we do? Because I'm thinking like this is 2 bears and a laser to me. Like if we hit 2 back airs and a laser, like we've already got her to the 31 we need, which I'm assuming 31 is right. It sounds right in my head.
Yeah.
And that could also be like a nair up tilt. Nair up tilt into a back air does it. So I'm like, what moves are safe on Puff when she's when she's in the air like this?
I mean, if she's facing me and if she's like drifting into me on the diagonal, then up tilt definitely works.
Okay.
Back tilt, back air.
Back tilt goes hard. Let's go.
Yeah.
I feel like Nair is pretty good too. Like Nair is like just kind of efficient. It's just kind of like good hit and run.
Yeah, I'm just kind of like how high Falco goes and how high DD is always in the air. It feels like I always just like whiff, or they do like the double jump away kind of thing. I mean, full hop Nair is like something I don't try as often, because I feel like unless I'm landing on top flat, then I'm just like kind of stuck in the air for a bit.
True. What if we?
So that's why Nair is kind of like awkward for me.
We could go. What if we like full hopped and then like reacted like full hopped, but we didn't commit to our aerial right away? Like we can kind of like full hop to like maybe not like here we could go to the top platform, but like if we could on other stages, or if we don't if we're not playing for top platform, like if we're full hopping like this for example, like we could go up and kind of observe and then like come down with the aerial. If she plays away from us. If she plays away from us, we can also go for the laser or like change gears by wave landing or double jump wave landing. Like, you know what I mean? I feel like full hop has to be part of the solution.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of like Falcos, especially like back then. They would like do like a backflip and kind of like watch floaties like Peach or Puff, and then like either come down with the back air or a laser or land on plat or go through plat. So I could try and do that more. I feel like I should also just backflip more in general, especially if I'm like trying to rack up to dare % and need to hit bears.
You know, I was actually playing Firepuff 12, and I don't think that he's probably quite as good as like Daydream here, but like there was something that I did with a laser that I actually think is kind of relevant here. Do you mind if I play like a a quick clip? It's like 4 seconds.
Go ahead.
Sure. So 1 second. Let me just put it on the screen. So this is just like something that happened in one of our matches. Let me play. So it is, sorry, let me play that again. So it's not this one, it's this one out of the corner. So like because I'm like basically like, you see what I'm doing, right? Like I'm basically watching him the entire like way over, and when I see that he's below me and he's like retreating, that's what like cues for me to do the laser. So it's not so it's just like, it's just a simple reaction. It's just a simple observation thing, but like it earns me the entire stage. It allows me to like set up my game from there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like that kind of thing could be helpful here because it gives us another way that we can use. Like maybe we don't do it approaching like that in all situations, but you get what I'm getting at. Like we want to have more ways of like contesting Puff for space. And full hop, like she's vertically challenged, so playing into that is not a bad idea.
Okay. I also think I feel like I watch jumps and I like count them in my head, the little timer, but I don't really like look at the drift very well. Like I know like each jump gets like smaller and smaller and stuff like that, but like I don't know. I feel like just counting the jumps is a little inefficient. I feel like I need to be like counting the space between the jumps or like being a little bit more locked into it or like how they're drifting to like follow better.
Okay.
But it's like kind of hard for my brain to like switch from that like not really habit. It's just that like when I count the jumps, like I said, like it feels like that's part of like the whole basic game plan I do, and it like I don't know, like it's kind of hard to like get out of that. Like it's like I almost over focus on counting instead of just looking at the actual spacings.
Yeah, so I would say that like I keep track of the jumps in my head, but like I just kind of like I just kind of notice when how many times she's like I kind of like watch the size of like the of her like movements. Cuz you know how like they get cuz they get smaller towards the end. Like the first two are really big. The third one's kind of like whatever. Fourth one is kind of like a little more whatever, and then the last one is like tiny. So I just kind of like pay attention to it based on that. And I can see that like how that would like be I can see how that would be really distracting because yeah, like it's basically like putting a thinking task into like into the game, but like we have like other ways of like there's other information you can take in that fulfills that same purpose of keeping track. I do like that you're using the top platform here. One thing I would say is that if Jigglypuff is like hiding under this side platform like this, we probably can shoot more lasers at her. Like, you see how she's kind of like playing, like she's coming up and playing in this kind of zone. So I would be considering like falling through the top platform and coming down like with laser here. Just like actually dropping her through the platform and then like shooting her.
Yeah, I think I was looking for something specific to happen rather than like creating the situation. I think I need to be more aware of that too. Yeah, I definitely noticed they should have shot more lasers.
Yeah, so I think what's going on here is I feel like Daydream is a lot more... I feel like Daydream is, like, pretty patient. And because you're... Like, I think that the puffs you do well against are probably, like, more aggressive ones or more, like, campy ones. Because I don't think that Daydream is really, like, camping, per se. It's just more that they're just not really, like, giving anything for free. That should have been a shine, I think.
Yeah, I don't think I could have reached him.
Okay. Could you have gotten up here, though?
I think I probably could have gotten up air, but, like, it was kind of hard to track his DI there.
True. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't want to shine in case it missed, and, like, up air, I didn't want him to, like, DI out his slip, so I just did safe back air.
But, like, if that up air had killed, then, like...
Yeah, then it's, like, you know, the risk reward.
Yeah, so, like, I kind of think that, like, if we have a chance to kill Jigglypuff, it's good to, like, do it. It's good to just, like, test it as if it's not too risky. I feel like even if she smash DIs it, it's not really that big a deal. Like, instead of doing 15 damage, we do, like, I don't know, like, 6 damage. If it's a difference of damage, it's not, like, or she might smash DI into it, I guess, because Falco, so we might still do, like, 15 damage, we just don't kill her, or, like, 11 damage. But I feel like if it's just the difference of damage, then it's, you know, we're losing a lot by not going for it.
Yeah.
I can see what you mean about because yeah, like Puff is basically just chilling outside of your like your two most like likely to like the two hitboxes you're most likely to use, back air and up tilt, and yeah, you're just basically not really like deviating from that plan. What I also notice is you do get Jigglypuff to like down air %, but like you never really like go for it. Like
yeah, I'm so scared of just getting shield grabbed or something. So I feel like I don't know. I definitely should just go for it more and like cross up more and stuff.
Well, I think what we need to do is we need to understand that like our down air hitbox is like really, really is huge and really like quick. So what I notice here is like we're just trying to like scrap with. Well, I take it back. You are going for it. It's just that like the way you're going for it is very like, how do I put this? So here, I would not be going for short up down air. I'd probably be going for like full hop. With the idea being that I'm just gonna go to the top platform because we're pinned in this corner position and I don't like it.
Okay.
And if we get our down air out on our way up to the top platform, I don't think that she can really like contest us if we start our jumps at even like a vaguely similar time.
So I'm not really keeping myself safe when I do the downers.
Like this one, like these short hop ones, no, because like you're just playing into her short hop back. You're just playing into her like back air, because whether she full hops or short hops this, like she can still get you. Yeah, like whether she full hops or short hops, the back air that she does here will still get this short hop. So I think that if that's the case, we might as well at least like go for the thing that gives us like more height. It gives us more room to DI in case we get hit out of the air. Because we have this platform to work with, and then on top of that, we're also going to a better location for our next play, because we don't want to like even like let's say that she just like waits here, like if this down air if this down air misses, we're now fighting her in the if in this position while she's on the ground, or like while she's in the air, like she's either in the ground not doing anything, or she's in the air with her back set with her back airs. If this misses in any way, like we're in a bad position afterwards with our landing, going to the top platform, we don't have that same problem.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. I'm just like not making it like good for myself.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, and not all of them. Like, so this one actually confuses me too a little bit when we go to center stage with it. Like, I guess my question here would be...
I think I was flustered, but also it's just like... Maybe I thought he would roll because I was thinking he would think I would shield drop or something, or just fall through normally. I don't know. that is a very weird down air.
Yeah. So I think that we're like, yeah, we need to let. So I guess what my kind of perspective is like, what's the point in unlocking this move if we're gonna do it like? What's the point on unlocking the move if we're going to go for it in the spots where they are not? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. What do you think? What's the counter pick? Yoshi's? Yeah.
Yep.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Casey sometimes likes to do Final Destination, I've noticed. I've watched Casey and Daydream play a lot. And what I noticed is she like gets a lot more grabs and like up throws, and the way she like kind of almost like keeps her spots better. If that makes sense. Like it almost feels like she stays like under one platform and uses a top plat like all game.
Yeah,
and then like and then like when Casey goes to like FD, she just like up throws and then just like full hops and like kind of abuses like her own. It's like she creates her own wall, and Daydream like can't really do anything about it. I've tried to play like that, but usually it goes very bad for me. Or like, but I've taken like little things here and there, so I don't know. It's kind of hard to like completely shift because I feel like when people play like, especially like floaties, like it's like vary themselves. Like they'll use like similar strategies, but like little things will be different, you know?
So
I don't know.
So here's a question I have. Because I think that like I like this kind of reminds me like of what you're describing, like using your throws more, using the platform, because you're using this kind of the platform as kind of like a way to like set up aerials and like protect yourself, which all makes sense.
Yeah.
So you have this situation here where Puff is like recovering. What do you think? Like, what do you think her options are here? Like, how do you think we could play this better? Because right now, like, you're gonna dash away and just kind of like let her have it. But I'm just wondering, do you think there was a way that we could have, like, done something more effective here?
I mean, maybe I could have shield dropped and, like, had the bear coming down. Like, instead of just dashing away, I could have just, like, turned around. Or, like, even just grabbed ledge. But I don't think I was paying attention to the jumps. Like, even, like, currently, I wasn't paying attention to jumps. I probably was in the moment, but I don't know. I think maybe I was too scared.
So one thought I would have here is, like, if we're not paying attention to the jumps, like, I feel like this is a pretty easy laser to take.
Okay.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, she's just here. She's at a pretty far distance. Like, we just put it here. We know that she spent some of her jumps, right? So I'm thinking we shoot this laser and see what she does. Like, and probably fall through the platform. Like, we don't have to do a shield drop. We don't need to be that efficient. But maybe fall through the platform with just a standard, like, Isaiah drop or something. And then, like, just shoot another one on the way down here.
Yeah.
Like, you could also shield drop it if you have the tech skill. I sometimes do. But the idea is here that we're, like, creating, like, a path where we can kind of pin her with the lasers, kind of.
Like,
as she's
hovering in the air.
Yeah, like, we're keeping her, like, we're controlling her descent, basically. Because I think that the idea here is that if she comes too close to us, because we're gonna drop, right? So with us dropping down here, we drop down forward. We're now at the edge of the stage. We're really close. It's easy for us to, like, run off double jump and then hit down air.
Yeah.
Which means that there's a kind of a range around. There's like a box around, like, here-ish that she can't really go into, or she can just, like, die. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we're just going to see if she, like, plays into that spot, and if she doesn't, then we can kind of back off safely or grab the edge, because we know that she's, like, if she's keeping outside of that box, she's probably, like, somewhere, like, say, maybe around here, right? So if she's somewhere around here, it's easier for us to take the edge then, and potentially, like, go for ledge hop back here. Yeah. Because there's, like, a spot where she's still kind of safe from all this, like, which is exactly here. But if she's anywhere that isn't exactly there, then, like, we're still good. And even still, if she does go here, we can maybe still, like, jab, down smash, like, forward tilt. We still have stuff we can do to her because of this laser hitting her. So I think that, like, what I would say is, I wouldn't give up on this edge guard necessarily. We don't necessarily have to... We don't do the laser moving forward. We can, like, the first one moving forward. We do it in place here, so it's very safe. That also gives us...
Yeah, I was going to ask if I could, like, shine back air that spot. Like, waveland off, shine back air.
So, like, Gotcha. Maybe. Like, I don't know. Like, it depends really on where she goes. Because she has, like, because of her air mobility, she can go here, she can go here, she can go here, she can go here. Like, she still has a jump, I think, too. So she could potentially go here. So this is why I'm thinking the laser is always in place. Because, like, by keeping Falco, like, roughly here, like, somewhere between these points, we're not at risk of her, like, just coming forward with an attack, which is important. But it just gives us information about where she's going. Because, like, she has to interact with the laser in some way. Either she falls under it, she goes through it. Oh, no, she goes over it, she gets hit by it. Like, she has to do something. So I think the idea here is, like, let's try to use our lasers as a way to assess, to, like, steer her. Yeah, lasers steer her. Like, lasers, lasers kind of let us know how, like, where she's going, almost, if that makes sense.
Yeah, you're, like, kind of just guiding her.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Lasers guide her in these edge guards. And then, like, there is such a thing, as too many, but, like, I think that right now we're not doing enough. So, we'll worry about too many when we get there, but, like, right now, let's use, like, more, let's exercise Falco's control tools more.
Okay.
Because, like,
I feel like I definitely feel like I can't edge guard Jigglypuff, or, like, I've always been bad at it. I mainly just, like, fight on stage, so...
Yeah, so after you hit this jab, like, what do you think what do you think we do?
I think I tried to do a back air here, but I was, like, insanely slow. Or, like, I just did not do it right.
Gotcha, so I'm actually thinking we do something else here.
I could maybe up smash.
I'm thinking full hop down air.
Oh, okay.
Because, like, she's here,
I don't think I've ever thought about that.
Well, she's
I always
here
thought it was too slow.
Yeah, she's here and off stage. So, like, there's kind of a kill box. Like, there's kind of an invisible zone, like, with the Falco that goes to about, that I consider about, like, anything behind about this line. Anything behind about this line, that where it takes a lot for me. I guess it's kind of, yeah, it's like here. And it takes a lot for, it's slightly slanted because of how his down air is slanted. But anything behind this line is, like, if they're here and I can take a down air, I want to do it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because it's like his down air hits like this, so they can't go through him. So anything behind this line at like over about like 50% or so, I just want to spike them to like, because I don't realistically see what is better than that in terms of like the resulting situation, you know?
Yeah.
And it very like as you go higher, you need more damage. Like here, like this will be lower than this. Like damage increases as we go up this thing, but like the damage requirement. But like she's at 80 and she's Jigglypuff, so I just figure, you know, just spike her, kill her, get rid of her.
Okay.
So that would be one. Yeah, that would be one thing I'd consider, because I feel like we keep focusing on back air and stuff, and back air is amazing, but like there's been a few like up throws and things where you go for up airs and such, and they work. But I'm also like, God, like if we had just down aired her, we probably could have dunked her twice.
Yeah.
Good DI. Oh my, we got to up air.
Yeah.
We got to up air. Yeah, I'm gonna make a note of that.
More up airs.
Up air KO needs to be something we look for. The cool thing is because Falco's legs are longer than Fox's. What did I just do?
That was a very weird noise.
What happened? I don't know what I did. Whatever. I'm gonna assume that nothing is like. Why is it?
Uh-oh.
Oh, it's because. So is it like not allowing me to like copy and paste? That's so funny. All right, whatever. Yeah, I feel like up air kill has to be something we're more aware of, because it's just really, really important. And it's easy to second hit only with Falco because of his longer legs.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just it's something we definitely want to look for. What's the plan? So when Jigglypuff light shields there, what do you think we could do that would like work better?
I mean, honestly, I kind of just mix up doing weird pressure like that, or just waveland down grab. So I'm not really sure like what a really good plan would be. So
okay, so have you seen the Laud breaks Hungry Box's shield clip?
I think so, but I don't remember it like exactly. But I definitely remember seeing something like that happen.
Okay, so the reason that works is because Jigglypuff's like whenever a character light shields, they take more shield stun than they normally do.
Mm-hmm.
So Falco, whose aerials are like negative, like, whose back air and nair are like -2 and -0 on shield, like his bear would be -2, his nair is -0 if done perfectly. What I'm thinking we do is we instant double jump onto this side of her.
Mm-hmm.
And then we just like do the lowest nair we possibly can on her shield, and then just like look for like platform cancel back air or something.
Oh wow, yeah. I think I've seen something like that.
Yeah.
People do that before. I could get like one if I try, but that's like something I'd need to like practice a tiny bit. Is like hitting those like weird platform cancel back airs or nairs. But it would, how many would it be? It'd be like 3, right?
Well, I'm not even saying we necessarily have to do like the platform cancel back air. It's just an option. Like the other thing here is, remember, you're going to be positive on shield when you're like doing if you do the lowest nair possible with like instant double jump here, right? So because you're going to be positive, what I'd say is you could also just turn around and grab her.
Yeah, okay. That makes sense.
Like I don't know how positive you're gonna be, but like you're gonna be plus plus on light shield with late nair. So because of that, you know, I would structure your opening based on that, and then like kind of go from there. Like I would like honestly, you could probably like late nair, shine, like fall through shine waveland and to like down tilt maybe, and something like that might work for like shield poking. So
okay, just like plus and then just kind of chase her.
Yep, plus on light shield with late nair, and then just like grab shine, etc. Shine bear, etc.
That makes sense.
Yeah, because like we just want to like the thing is like a lot of people attack this side of her, but this is like the no. This is like the good one because we really want to keep her here because she's just kind of like put herself at a tremendous amount of risk by doing that.
Yeah.
So
Figure just got like double shined.
Or up throw up air. She's at 92, right? Like, you see
Yeah.
that? You see how long? Like, God, once we pushed her off in tumble, you saw that. Like, imagine if we had like late naired into like edge cancel like up air or something, or like edge cancel fair. We'd probably get like another aerial. She's probably dead. Like, there's so much stuff. Like, there's so much stuff on the table when she light shields. Light shielding is so bad with this character. I do not know why people do it.
Okay. I'll definitely try and keep that in mind.
Yeah. I get why people do it because they're like afraid of the jiggly poke thing, but like
Here.
I feel like when your counterplay involves you being at risk of losing your shield as Jigglypuff, that's probably like a bad sign.
That was a crazy Randall.
Out of curiosity, like what's the best free hit you can get on Jigglypuff at this percent if she does something like this? What would you say it is?
Honestly, I feel like I should have jumped, shined, landed on the platform with double jump, and then like maybe shine back it or shined again.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Something like that.
Yeah.
Because you also can mix up what side you hit her on. Like, you don't have to hit this side. You could also jump and go over here.
Yeah, and choose which ear.
Yeah, so like let's make a quick note of that. Like, we have like it's not just about like the ear that's presented to us immediately. Like,
Left or right.
yeah, exactly. Like why does this always disappear on me? Okay, whatever. Yeah, like we can go left or right depending on how. And why do you think that's important? Like in terms of like how we kill her.
It mixes up her DI, and like if she goes in, then she's gonna go like straight up, and if she goes away, then she's like flying away.
Yeah, exactly. So we can DI mix up because like I feel like when she sees this, like, and I think it's reflected in the DI here. Like they're actually DIing pretty much in on that, which is weird. So they were actually preparing for us doing the cross up, which is interesting. But even still, that means if we do the standard one, then like we still kill her. Like if we do the standard one, we kill her. If we do the other one, we probably get a combo, honestly.
Yeah.
Full hop back here? Like so what spacings do you think we need to full hop back here?
Honestly, I'm not sure. I feel like I could full hop a lot more than I think I can because I'll just like be safe if they're like lower on the ground. But I like see them up in the air and I think like, oh, I'm gonna full hop to reach them there, or full up back air to reach them there. You know?
Okay, cool. So this you can definitely hit. Like this one,
Okay.
this one 100% you can hit. So where does Falco's full hop go? Would you say? Like how high?
Probably like to the timer about.
It's about here?
Yeah.
Cool. So, yeah, you can 100% hit this full hop back air. Like, your back air is going to hit about, assuming while going up, you're going to hit about here. The other thing that I would say is if you if you turn around and dash jump forward, you can also hit her as well. There's a cool thing that the space animals can kind of do with their long full hops, where they can kind of, like, attack where Puff is and, like, slightly behind her, if that makes sense. Because, like, if Falco dash jumps this way, he probably, like, moves at about this trajectory, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so because of how he does that, you can see what I mean. Like, he's not just attacking where she is, he can attack behind her, too.
Okay.
So this is an important concept, because a lot of times if you aim directly at her, she will be able to deal with it, so you kind of want to, like, overshoot, air quotes, with, like, your full hops. And attack the other space too. That is like, well, you don't want to always do it, but like full hop kind of overshoot can be used to overshoot her.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like that's something I struggle with is like knowing when to overshoot or undershoot versus Puff because she like her drift in the air is just so crazy, and it feels like I have to commit to one or the other.
Yeah, so this is what I'm getting at. Like, Falco and Fox, because of how much momentum they have on their, like, full hops, they can kind of do both in a lot of cases. Not all. Like, Fox more so than Falco. That's part of why he beats Puff. But Falco kind of has the option. Like, Falco still has positions where he can do both, which is quite handy.
Okay.
I will say that was quite savvy of you for going to the top platform. I feel like a lot of people just autopilot DIing to side.
Thank you.
I take it you know the percent, or is it a percent thing, or is it just like a Because I don't really know how this how this combo works, like how to get out of Puff combos here. like fully?
Honestly, I kind of wing it. I kind of know that just like I know like how high I'll end up, like with my percent. So I just kind of like go based off of that. Usually, it's like I guess like whatever percent he grabbed me at, I knew I was gonna end up on top plat.
Gotcha.
Um, yeah, I can't really tell you the exact numbers.
Okay.
Kind I know that like where I'll end up.
Yeah. So one thing I want to point out, like look at this full hop laser. Like even if we had shot the laser where we wanted it to go, because I'm assuming you want it to like cover this like lower platform, like down here.
Yeah.
It does. The puff is still underneath us. Is still underneath it at this time though, right? So what
Yeah.
what I would point out is, I don't think that there's like, where do you think Casey would do this laser, like the full hop laser?
I think Casey would stay underneath the left plat and just like high laser,
Yeah,
not full
exactly.
up.
Exactly. So I think that one of the like the temptation, I think one of the things I'm noticing is there's a temptation to try to hit Puff with lasers, but the lasers aren't really for hitting her in a lot of cases. It's more for controlling the space she can go into.
Okay. I think yeah. I feel like that definitely sums up why my lasers are very good versus puff.
Yeah,
I
and
definitely focus on hitting instead of like all the other things they could do.
yeah, and I feel like this was like, I think the Nair up tilt here was a good idea. It's just she's a little high. So what do you think if you knew that this was going to be too high? What would you do after this Nair instead?
Um, maybe full hop back or jump up shine if there's enough time.
I think it's always jump up shine here.
Okay.
Like if we have enough time to like have this happen, like okay, so
Oh
it
yeah, I
wouldn't.
could definitely jump up and hit a
Yeah.
shine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I don't know if it would combo for sure, but like I feel like it's just such high reward if we get it that like it's pretty worth it. You could also make a case for like, I think you could also make a case for down air. Because you're gonna land on the top platform, she's gonna be a knockdown, and then we just kind of go from there. You know what I mean? Good slide off.
Yeah.
Shine.
Yeah.
Yeah, we look for we have to look for shines and up airs like way more, like shines and up airs at the right in the right situations like more. I would say
Mhm.
that that's like I would say that like, so you know the Falco one short hop laser distance, like the kind of like standard spacing we tend to look for like ish.
Yeah.
I think that still applies to Jigglypuff. That's just what's different about Jigglypuff is because she works with diagonals so well. All that's changes is we just want to like have the platform covering us or a high laser covering us or both when we achieve that spacing. That's like that's just all it is. I think that the matchup is
Yeah.
not that like weird once we figure that out, but like, you see what I mean? Like once she's even with like even if we had the high laser out, the spacing is still awkward because she's too close. You see what I mean? Because of where we
Yeah.
are. We need to be back here.
Yeah.
Because then like this is not like one short hop laser away. This is one short hop laser away, like over here. So we need that.
I
I
get it.
think, yeah, like that's the missing ingredient. Let me make a quick diagram of this one because I think this one is like very important. And then we'll do our recap, and then I have to go speak with Holiday, because he's next.
Okay.
With that in mind, though, what would you say are the big things that we learned today? I'm just gonna let him know a few minutes.
The down DI when like all those factors are at play. I guess kind of like when to full hop dare. Uh, laser a bit more. And kind of like focus on like what lasers do for you rather than just hitting them. Like kind of guiding her, and then just kind of like the little edge guarding stuff with there. I'm definitely gonna try, and the spacing just now too. Like I feel like all of that is just like a lot.
Yeah, so like I think I agree with all of that. I think that like having this, I think that what we're really learning is that Jigglypuff isn't that different from like a lot of other characters that we fight. She just has like more diagonals, so it's kind of like fighting a DJ Sears. So it's kind of like the similar rules to Yoshi and Peach in a lot of ways, in that the spacing
Okay.
still matters, but like we want to have, like we want to like we still want one short hop we want one short hop laser distance. We want plus high laser platform or both. Plat or both. I'd also say that like using our or both. And then I'd also say that, like, using her full hop to cut into her space like this is, like, very, is very important, because it kind of keeps her from, like, taking, like, the more steep angles that aren't covered by, like, this kind of spacing. Like, we're kind of encouraging her to not take these gentle ones because of the laser, so she kind of has to come in, like, more head-on like this, and this is part of the utility of our, like, up tilt and stuff.
Okay.
Like, our up tilt, our full hop aerial, etc. So let me jot some things down. So let's look for...
Yeah, it feels like a lot of this is, like, making the stuff work for you instead of, like, just doing them. Like, you use the lasers to make, like, your other stuff work better, and, like, you full hop your down air in certain spots to make yourself safe. Like, you're just, like, I need to, you know, like, do things to where it, like, improves everything else.
Yeah, everything
kind of... mainly focusing on, like, hitting.
Yeah, so lasers need to be looked at more as a supporting tool that covers space, and what on earth is that noise? Okay, I'm gonna, like, figure this out, because this is annoying me now. Let me see here. I'm gonna stop streaming. Maybe that will do. Cover space and enables us to opens and forces puff to commit to angles. To angles for full hop, up tilt, bear, etc. Okay. And then the other thing that we're noticing is edge guarding, using lasers, and looking for dare behind the dare line, and then dare line as percent increases. And the last thing I would say that's big is just full hop aerial, can undershoot and overshoot the space behind her. Also allows for lasers and to control, to compete for space, really. I would say don't do it doing it out of the corner is risky, but it works more than you probably think it does.
Okay.
And with that, I think that's all. I'm going to go with Holiday, but it's great having you back. If you have any questions about any of this, you'll let me know, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Amazing.
I definitely need to also find more puffs to play against.
Amazing.
So
I'll leave you to it then. Take care, and let me know. Is the plan to go on, like, every 2 weeks? Resume that, or just let me know what the plan is, okay?
Yeah, I think we're gonna go back to the same schedule. I was just late today because I had, like, I was taking out the dog.
Okay.
And then, like, my alarm didn't go off, so.
Gotcha, no problemo. Take care, we'll talk soon.